Hi Emily, how you doing? I've got your work up here, and I've read through your report a couple of times, and I think you're making really good sense. I think it's a good, as far as I can see from a topical view here, I think it's a good selection, a good choice um, for a bid for a Winter Olympic event location. So that's good. But a couple of the things I want to mention is that there's not a whole lot in your report that's pointing directly to research. So what I would like you to do is when you turn in your final next week, I really want you to point to research on this. And the main thing, of course, is the fact that at the end of the paper or anywhere during your paper, you don't have any citations, no in-body citations, um, no list of bibliography or citations indicating the research that you've used. So that's really important. This is a research project. So one of the things, by the way, when you do format your citations, you want to use, let me just open this guy up for you right here. This is OWL English, Purdue OWL, which is Online Writing Lab. And this is one of the more well received and well recommended resources for um, formatting your citations. And at RIMCAT here, we use Chicago Manual Style, CMS it's called, and it's right here. So you can, I'll leave this resource for you, but if you just go to Purdue Online Writing Lab and look up Chicago Manual of Style, you can really see how to, it'll show you how to create your bibliography based on that particular formatting style. Okay, so that's something that we'll definitely be looking for in the final. A couple of things I want to draw your attention to is a couple of things I've been talking to two other students about. And when you select your city, there's some things you have to keep in mind in terms of proving that the city is capable of holding the Winter Olympics, this event. I'm going to go through this list that I've been talking about a lot of different students with. So the main thing is the weather. Talk about the weather and describe the weather, give facts and figures on the weather, determining whether that location would be able to accommodate the Winter Olympics. So you might have to look at what the optimal weather is for international Olympic or international winter sporting events, particularly downhill skiing and cross-country skiing and outdoor events as such. One of the resources I left you guys is over here in the messages area of the announcements area of the course. And of course, you can get there just by clicking that little envelope right up there. And take a look at the messages here. I've given you an example of a final project submitted by a student, a successful final project submitted from a previous class by a student. And I've also given you this list of considerations to think about while determining your bidding report here and writing your report. And then there's a bunch of resources down here. So you can take a look at those and really determine a lot of the things that I really would like to see in your final iteration. So that's weather. Talk about the venues. You talked a little bit about the venues, but you mentioned the football stadium. But you really have to talk about, how old is the stadium? Is it able, how many people does it seat? And does it need, do these venues need to be built from scratch, or can you use pre-existing venues? Also talk about hotel rooms is a big important thing to talk about. Is there enough hotel rooms in the area in Stockholm and neighboring cities, let's say maybe within a 100-mile radius? Is there enough hotel rooms available for the amount of people that will converge on the city? And that includes not only guests in downtown Stockholm or Stockholm proper. Of course, you would have to have accommodations for Olympic Village, and that's typically the hotel room and dorm accommodations that are available directly to athletes who will be competing. So they need to be closest to the central hub of the event. So then also neighboring cities, how many hotel rooms are available? And you can find this online, find exactly how many hotel rooms are available and how many hotel rooms does the IOC, International Olympic Committee, recommend for this event. Talk about the energy infrastructure of the country. In other words, is there enough power grid to accommodate a huge event like this where millions will be converging on a city for 2 weeks? Talk about nightlife and restaurants, theaters, and cultural nightlife. Not only cultural nightlife, but entertainment nightlife, so that there's enough that people can do at night when they want to go out. And then, of course, talk about public safety. Are people going to be safe when they go out? Remember, the Rio Games were a real big concern with public safety there. You talked about cultural heritage, and I think that exposing the indigenous cultural heritage. The cultural heritage of historically of the indigenous people of your location, Stockholm, Sweden. I think you'll find many, many answers in your visual solutions if you go that route. So that's a good thinking there. But again, remember, everything's backed by research here. Social issues and equality, communications infrastructure, the political climate. Is this an area that is prone to terror attacks? Is this an area that's prone to military escalation from other parts of the world? And report on that using statistics as well. Medical accommodations is really important. So are there enough hospital rooms? Are there enough beds? Are there enough clinics, emergency and other, to accommodate convergence of several million people on a particular city and surrounding areas as well? Is the area prone to natural disasters? What's the pollution like? Is pollution is it under control? Remember, they were talking heavily about Beijing being a host for an Olympic event because of the pollution in China. So that was a big controversial point there. Okay, so those are just some of the things I'd like you to really kind of concentrate on moving forward. And as I said, I'll leave you this link for that Purdue OWL, but you want to take a look at that and really, really get familiar with how to format your citations using CMS, Chicago Manual Style. And again, right there in your right here, Chicago Manual Style, and that's available right there at Purdue OWL, so you can take a look at that. All right. Any questions, comments, or concerns moving forward? Please feel free to give me a holler. But I think you're off to a great start. All right. Good job. Thanks. Any questions? Give me a holler. Thanks.